What is up, everybody? Welcome back to another NBA Rundown brought to you courtesy of Run Pure Sports and Run Pure Bets. Quite a 24 hours in the association as Trae Young was ruled out about 3 hours before game time, and then Giannis looks like he sprained his knee during the game. Not sure if he's going to make it back for the rest of the series. Tyler, I was pretty upset last night. I've come to grips with it, but what were your takeaways from that game? Muted, Tyler.
I tried to get on the Bucks early, thinking that Trae Young was going to be announced out. It worked out in my favor, and then the Bucks went out there and just gave us a nice, good old stinker. So, again, that team just continues to be a thorn in my side. Hopefully Atlanta finishes them off. Sorry, spread, but I'm just tired of seeing this team in the playoffs.
And there's a good chance they might. Now it's 2-2. But without Giannis, who's been pretty much the only consistent factor for this team, seems like you can pencil Giannis in for 30 and 10 every night, and then Middleton and Holiday kind of take turns helping him out when they do get the victories. Travis, what did you take away from last night?
I took away that, Atlanta is still the real deal, man. We said, yes, of course, like Trae Young could be out, and you'll be upset that Trae Young's not out, but there's other guys that can get buckets on that team, right? We got Bogdanovich, we got Herter, we got Lou Williams. They do have guys. So ball movement, playing good team basketball, it can go a long way sometimes. And hey, this team is playing better than like anyone else, right? And there's some power to a team like that is out there playing better than anyone can expect, right? Which is what I should have said, right? They believe in themselves, they believe in the guys playing next to each other, and they're playing selfless. So I'm excited for the Hawks. It's unfortunate that Giannis went down, right? But it's also unfortunate that Trae wasn't able to play. And Trae could play the next game. We don't know. And then Capella too, right? He then went down with the eye injury. So guys are falling left and right. And it looks like the West, they're just like playing for the finals, it seems like, if all these guys are going to be out going forward.
Yeah, it's going to be really interesting to see how this final shakes out. And boy, the way the season's gone, wouldn't be surprised if we had another injury or two pop up before this season ends. JSU, the typical superstar subtraction. I didn't know if I was going to believe in it last night because that's more of a regular season thing. What did you make of Atlanta's performance last night? And if Trae Young doesn't play in the next game, do you think that the rest of the players will continue to have that same bump?
Well, first off, I want to just say anyone who watched the show yesterday can cash those Atlanta tickets because we were on Atlanta heavy on this show. I think all of us were on Atlanta, by the way.
Yeah, we took Atlanta.
So it was a clean sweep.
But I didn't think they were going to win straight up. I just thought they were going to cover.
Weren't you on the under?
I was on the under. That one won too. So
boom. So you cash all those. And if you watch the final countdown with me and Tony, when we got the Trae news, because we got it on the show, I don't think it was 3 hours before.
Yeah, it could have been even less. I actually didn't even have time.
It was like an hour.
It was an hour
and a half.
It was an hour before exactly.
Yeah, I didn't have time to jump in and watch you guys, so I just.
So if you watch that show, on that show, even after we got the news, me and Tony were talking about it, and I said, and he kind of agreed with me. I think that the Hawks can still hang in this game, and I think I think they could still take one. Lou Will is good enough as a sub to hold on for like one game, and one game at home, may I add, too, with the other guys like Bogdanovich, who I talked about on this show and on the other show as well, saying, I think he's starting to look a little better. I think he's starting to get a little more healthy. You could see it in the minutes creeping up. The shots started going up. And, he came through, right? He came through for us. He came through for the Hawks. Cash the over on the props for the points over because that was one of the best bets of the day. I think that prop went from 12.5 on the show to 16.5 on the other show. And I told people on the other show, we all like the over on the 16.5.
Yeah.
So you could cash both those because if you bet wherever you bet it, whether it was 12.5 on this show or 16.5, it was an easy bet. It was an easy dub, and I was pretty excited about it. I was joking with Mangone when I said, Mangone, sprinkle some money line on that thing a little bit. I honestly thought, though, they had a shot, and that was why I played a lot of Atlanta in my captain spot. I played a lot of Lou and Bogdanovich and Kevin Herter in my captains in DFS, and it was why on this show I was so high on it. Even if Trae was hampered. I thought that the other guys could, keep them in the game. And when Trey was out, I still stuck to my guns and said, I still like Atlanta plus the 7, plus the 9, whatever it was.
Yeah.
It was a good day. Mangone's got to be riding high right now. Please tell me you still bet the Hawks, Mangone. Please, God, tell me you bet them.
Yeah, I got that. I got the series bet, JSU, AirPods, so you can't make fun of me anymore for not. I took even a bad price on purpose to make a point to you, JSU, and we're here 2-2. We didn't cash.
I didn't know if the Trey news scared you, Mangone. I didn't talk to you, so I didn't know.
I said it last night or yesterday on the show. I said, listen, of course, no Trey Young is unfortunate, but they have dudes that can get buckets, like Bogdanovich. Don't doubt him. He's good enough. There's going to be the Bucks guys that are like, oh, Giannis got hurt. They would have been fine. Dude, they were getting killed. Knock it off. Wherever you Bucks clowns are, don't give me that. The Bucks were terrible last night. And
either way, they were covering Mangone, so it didn't matter on that point. The Hawks side was the right side, regardless. Money line. You could make the case that Giannis was he starting to come on a little before he got injured. Yeah, he could. I still think the Hawks end up winning that game regardless, but either way, they were covering that spread.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. No doubt. It was overall though. I mean, I enjoyed it. I'm curious. It's kind of, we talked about it, right? How do we figure out all these injuries for handicapping going forward, right? I mean, it's just an absolute disaster every single time. So I don't know. Giannis is getting a second opinion on stuff, which doesn't seem good for him. And if they don't have Giannis, I mean, I think they're definitely in trouble for sure. Even though we do like to make fun of Giannis a ton, that is going to be a humongous loss for them. And of course, you can make a case that if they lose Clint Capella, right, that could be bad. But I'm also not sold that Trey Young is out, right? I think Trey Young could play in the next game, and it would not shock me at all. But he wasn't moving around that great, apparently. I didn't see the video, so it's easier for me to say that. But I'm excited to see how this series kind of ends up, and hopefully we can have the guys healthy for a Game 7. That would be the ideal scenario. So no one can say, oh, this team got lucky or this team got lucky, because that's what everyone loves to say. I mean, they're saying it about the Suns right now. So, hey, I want to see a good series to close.
Let's be honest, Mangone. I think every single team has had good luck to get to where they are.
Yes.
All 4 of these teams, right? Even the Suns with Donovan Mitchell, who played hurt. Milwaukee with Harden going out in the first 40 seconds, and then Kyrie Irving going out in game 3 or 4, to then Harden playing injured for the last 2 or 3 games. So, I mean, what are we talking about here? Every single team to this point has had something good happen for them, pretty much.
Yeah, people just love to say that, right? But whenever you win anything, right? Whether it's a GPP and DFS or, something happens in life that's a big thing for your job, you got to get a little lucky, right? And at some point you work hard, but you, find your way into some luck sometimes. And that's just what's happened with some of these teams. They've gotten lucky, and I hope we do get a good finals though. I hope we don't have a finals where there's guys getting hurt, but that is how it'll be poetic, right? Spread, if we just get a ton of injuries in the finals, just kind of sums up the entire season.
Yeah, I mean, obviously, I got that Bucks ticket that I've been rooting for, but if the Hawks end up being in the finals, that's going to be so much fun. I think that'll be more fun to watch. I wonder if they'll be able to keep up with whoever the Western Conference representative is, and let's talk about that right now. Tyler, we have let's see, it's game 6 tonight, right?
Yep.
Suns are up 3-2. They are -1 right now. This total is 214.5. Clippers, they looked pretty good with their back against the wall in that last game. Got the surprise victory where everyone doubted them. Now they might have a little more pressure. How do you think they respond to that pressure, Tyler?
I think I've been big on the Suns for the whole playoffs.
Yeah.
This is their Game 7. They don't win right here, it's over.
But there's
no chance they win a Game 7. The Clippers will walk into Phoenix with all the momentum and all the confidence in the world in that Game 7, and they'll walk right through that game right into the finals. The Suns have to win tonight if they want to make the finals, I think.
Wow.
They outscored them in the paint last game, the Clippers did. And a lot of those were those little jump shots they were hitting, and Marcus Morris was making them fadeaways. I don't think you see a lot of that. Boogie scoring that 15 and 11, I don't think you get 15 points out of him in 11 minutes again.
Yeah.
My only worry is the Clippers still haven't shot that lights out game from 3 yet. And unless they keep running them off the 3 line, they're going to start falling. So I'm not going to pick a side in this one because I have the future for them to win the Western Conference, but I love the under here. That under 214.
Yeah. We were looking at alternate totals before we went on the show. I found a nice one at Bookmaker, and mine was under 205.5 plus 243. And Tyler, would you have like under 201.5 at plus 300?
Yeah, it was under 202.5 plus 300.
Yeah, so I actually like those looks better than the side as well. Travis, what are you expecting tonight down in Los Angeles?
Yeah, I don't think this is game 7 for the Suns. I'll say that. This game is really hard. I feel like the Clippers are just in general hard to handicap right now because I feel like, and Spread, tell me if I'm wrong. Am I just basically handicapping if like those 3-pointers will go in for the Clippers, right? In those small ball lineups? That's what it just feels like because they like to run the small ball and they like to kind of get out in front. And it's like, if those threes fall, like, yeah, I mean, the Suns are in trouble. And then if they don't, it feels like the Suns will get the job done. I mean, getting Ayton the ball early on is important, but is that like a bad handicap? That's just kind of what I
know. It's true. And the hard part is they miss open ones certain nights, and then other nights they hit contested ones. So it's not even like in a normal game, like when we're live betting, right? We'll watch and we'll say, oh, they're 0 from 6 from 3, but they've got wide open looks. But it doesn't seem to even be regressing or moving back to where the average should be, even on some of those games. So I would agree with you there that it's been terribly tough to handicap just because of 3-point variance. And that's the way the league's going. But with this team and this series in particular, it seems to be really bad.
But that's just like what this team is, right? I mean, that's why the Zubac experiment was dumb. Maybe not experiment is the word for it, but using him more didn't make sense because that's not their identity. And like their identity is live and die by the 3. It's just simple. I'm not huge on regular season stats when we're talking playoffs, but a regular season stat with all the sample size of shooting, right? When you're the 4th best shooting team in like NBA history, like that kind of probably matters, right? Yeah. So will they hit their threes is going to be the question. And I think that the key to this game, though, is getting DeAndre Ayton involved early and often and making sure he doesn't lose himself within the game. Him getting open or getting buckets down there low early and often gives them the opportunity for them to maybe people go and double team him and that gives them more open threes in the corner. And then, Ayton's capable enough to be able to kick it out, right, easily. So I think that is going to be the key to this game. And like kind of like Tyler said, like if you don't see that, you definitely get a little bit concerned, I think, as you're watching the game.
JSU, what do you expect tonight down in Los Angeles?
I expect a close game. One thing that's tough for me when it comes to handicapping this game is I want to know, is Zubac in? But more importantly, if he's in, is he starting? Because if he starts, I think I like the Suns. If he does not start or is out, I like the Clippers in this game. I've talked about this pretty much the entire series. The Clippers are way better with the small ball unit without Zubac on the floor. Like, play him no minutes, regardless of injured, not injured. Maybe like 8 or 10 minutes. But, like, play him as little as possible and run that small ball unit out there for as long as those guys can handle it. Meaning Marcus Morris, obviously, who's key to the unit. And that's where it's kind of difficult for me because I want to know who's starting. If it's confirmed that Ty Lue's like, no matter what happens, we're running out the starting 5 of last game, I'm in. Clippers are going to win this game. It's going to go to a game 7. But I'm not as confident if Zubac plays that he'll do it because – I mean, I know it's just one thing, but Terrence Mann, game 3, he starts. They win. Game 4, Terrence Mann doesn't start. Why? I don't get it. Game 4, they lose. Yeah. I'm not saying it's like a huge difference. I'm just saying I don't know if Ty Lue's going to go with just the trend of, this unit played well, let's stick with it. I don't know if I trust it. I don't know if he's as sharp as people are giving him credit for. Because me personally, I'm not giving him credit for shit. I think he did this series wrong to start. Zubac shouldn't have been playing at all. Like, I'm sorry, it's just wrong.
Big T says 0 chance Zubac plays tonight.
Well, I mean, so like 0 chance he's in, or 0 chance he plays.
He says healthy or not.
Okay,
Chance.
Well, I'm in. Clippers, book it.
All right. Well, I think that would be fun. Game 7. I still can't believe that this is more likely to go 7 than the Bucks series.
God, nothing will be better if the Hawks did win in 6 and this series went 7. It's like,
we all thought Phoenix was going to be resting for a week and stuff.
Yeah.
Tyler, did you have a look at the props? Were they able to put some up for you? I got 101 for me, so I got them up.
There's tons of props in this game, and I want to hear some of Mangone and JSU's takes on these.
All right,
we talked about them wanting to force feed Ayton early in this game, and we know they're going to have to double team him with the small ball lineup. So he's going to have to kick it out at certain times. They have his assist line at 1.5 at plus 190. Those double teams are going to come. I think that's worth a shot at that price.
Okay.
Now, another one I like is the guys he's going to be kicking it out to are probably these guys standing in the corner shooting threes. They have Cam Johnson's points prop set at 7.5. He's put up double-digit points in every game in this series except for one game, and he only played 19 minutes in that game. I think he flies over that number here and puts up 11 to 14. And you're getting that at a plus money spot too.
What do you got? I have 7.5 at minus 110.
I got 7.5 at plus 106.
Wow, that's a great number. All right, what else you got?
Of course, you're going to want to look at Ayton's props because you want to feed him inside. The points are at 16.5.
Yeah.
And another one we always go back to is the CP3 points plus assists. That's worked for us, I think, 8 straight times in his games. It's at 28.5. I think he puts up 8 to 9 assists, maybe even get you double digits, and we know he's going to get you 15 to 20 points.
All right. Travis, do you have any thoughts on those or any other ones that you'd like to add?
I like the Ayton one. I don't have a strong read on the Cam Johnson one. I can pass on a Cam Johnson prop, I think, but Tyler's got great reads on the props for sure. The Chris Paul obviously been hitting good for you guys, so I don't mind riding that. But I want to ask
you passing on the Cam Johnson prop. The Cam Johnson prop might be one of the better props.
I thought that was my favorite one. I'm like entering that one right now.
2 threes and a driving layup that he cuts.
Yeah, I mean, so he's went over 7.5 in 4 of his last 5 games, and the one game he didn't, he saw his low in minutes of 17. All the other games in this series, he's seen 24, 24, 30, and 23 minutes. He's going to probably play in the 20s in minutes. And if you're telling me he's only got to score 8 points, he's going to get open 3 looks. He's going to get those corner 3 looks. I mean, I think that probably sharp.
If that small ball does start to become a problem for the Suns, he's going to be one of them guys that gets more minutes tonight when they have to go small.
Yeah, that's a fair point. And I wasn't saying it was a good or bad one. I was just saying, listen, I haven't done a deep dive on Cam Johnson.
No, I'm saying don't pass on that prop, Mangone. I'm telling you, don't pass on that prop. That's a good prop. I'm trying to help you, Mangone. Okay, that's all I'm trying to do.
I'll get in on it.
Tyler needs to start yelling at you when you just diss his props.
What book am I supposed to do? And again, it wasn't.
That one's on FanDuel.
Time out, Jason. Time out. I didn't diss his prop. I said I haven't.
You just dismissed it, guys. Did he not just say, "Oh, I can pass on the Cam Johnson prop"? He did the Jimmy Butler
ball it up and throw it over his shoulder.
Yeah, you did.
Again, I haven't done a deep dive on Cam Johnson. I've been doing too many other things. We got golf. We got MLB. Sorry, Cam Johnson. I haven't been watching your game that closely lately. My apologies, Cam.
Not only that, you're a newfound T-shirt connoisseur, right?
Yeah,
I mean, going through these websites takes time.
Yes. But I like Reggie Jackson's prop on the rebounds, actually. 4.5 rebounds.
So wait, you didn't do a deep dive on Cam Johnson's, but you did a deep dive on Reggie Jackson.
Jackson.
That's fantastic.
So not on his rebounds, right? But this is the reason why I like Reggie Jackson's rebounds is those are typically aggregate numbers, right? Mm-hmm. And the thing I like is you're getting plus money on that. The thing I like about Reggie Jackson is he's their number 2 guy. The usage that he has been seeing, I mean, it's been huge. And they also, Ty Lue talked about how Reggie Jackson is the guy that they want him to play the whole second half. Now, he didn't play the whole second half, but Reggie didn't play the whole second half last game. But the thing about Reggie Jackson in this spot is if it's a close game, and it wasn't close last time, right, where there was like spots where you could find a guy to sit and you had a lead. But if they're down, Reggie's going to play the whole game, right? Like he's going to play that whole second half. So It's also an effort stat too. If we think those small ball lineups are going to be happening, that's more 3-pointers. So yeah, I like the Reggie Jackson prop a lot.
All right, I like that one too. JSU, what do you got for us on the prop one?
So first off, I love the Cam Johnson prop. That's a really good prop if you can find it. I don't see him on DK, and that's where I'm kind of looking through my props. But if you can find that prop, it's definitely a good
Tyler,
one.
where is that prop?
Go
Do you have
after.
a prop for it?
Which one was that?
The Cam Johnson, where is it? So people know where to look.
It's on both DraftKings and FanDuel.
Oh, it is on DraftKings?
Yep.
I don't see it on DraftKings. Okay. All right. Well, there you go. It's on DraftKings. I guess I don't see it, but definitely one you can bet. So if they're going to continue with the small ball lineup, there's a lot. Actually, like Pat Bev at 7.5 is kind of interesting at plus 110. If he's going to get 30 minutes points prop, like it's not terrible for someone who's going to see 30 minutes. DeAndre Ayton. So I do think that he's going to go over this points prop. I think one adjustment that Chris Paul's going to make today is I think when he comes off those screens, he's not just going to go right to his jumper. I think he's going to kind of almost force DeAndre Ayton to post up and set him up or hit him on the roll more, where that last game, they were just collapsing and CP was just coming off those screens like ready to shoot. I think he's got to like force the issue a little bit with Ayton down low. He's just got to get him the ball somehow. I think they'll make that adjustment. So I do like his over on points prop. But yeah, I mean, Reggie Jackson, 20.5 is the line. That's probably a good line for him for points. Yeah, I mean, those are the ones that kind of just stick out at me. Cam Johnson's definitely my favorite, though, I think.
All right. Let's take a look at lineup builds really quick. I had done a quick one while we were getting ready to jump on here, and I threw DeAndre Ayton in the captain spot. JSU, who are you looking for at captain tonight, and which way do you think that you're going to go here?
So I don't know if I'd go with DeAndre Ayton in the captain spot just because I think they're going to collapse on him enough where the monster upside might not be there. Okay. That's my thought personally. I kind of like the Clippers here, which lends me to think that I might have a Clipper in the captain spot. I haven't started any of my builds, but I know Reggie Jackson is going to be someone that I like a lot today. So possibly a Reggie Jackson night in the captain back home. He's been playing well. Paul George, of course, you can play him in the captain spot. He's the most expensive play, but he should be the most popular captain, I think, on this slate. And then, after him, Chris Paul going back to, I could see him getting having a nice kind of bounce back game. He played okay last game, but he was kind of off a little bit, and I could see him getting like the double here with the assists, having a little better game there. Where maybe in the captain, but I definitely think my captains will probably be more on the Clipper side. So Reggie Jackson, Paul George, and maybe throwing in like a shot with like one of these cheaper Clippers guys, a Marcus Morris or someone like that. All
right. Travis, who are you looking at to throw in your lineups tonight?
Yeah, I mean, JSU hit on the guy that I like the most, right? The Reggie Jackson, the usage he's seeing, the minutes, he's just the number 2 guy, and he's still kind of too cheap for the role and the upside that he can have. Like if Reggie Jackson had a 50 fantasy point game, like you wouldn't be shocked, right? So that's someone that I'll definitely be looking at keying in on. The thing I always go back and forth on is like I want the Suns to obviously win this game, but like it kind of messes with my mind sometimes. Like, who do I put in the captain spot? Do I put a Reggie Jackson? Because that's the guy I kind of want to put in captain, but I feel like the Suns end up getting the job done. So, JSU, do you deal with that? Like, do you try and put the winning?
So to answer your
certain team's going to win, do you have a specific player on the team?
So you're asking if I think a team's going to win, do I try to play a player from that team in the captain? Because you cut out.
Yeah, I sometimes that messes with my mind a bit. So yeah, I was curious what you think.
So I I don't think you always have to do this, especially when you're talking about the top guys, right? Because, like, let's be honest, like Giannis could go for 40, 10, and 10, and they could lose the game, and he could be the winning captain, right? In certain scenarios. But I think, like, if you like some of those, like, cheaper or mid-tier guys, like yesterday, I think if you like Bogdan, you have to at least consider the fact that Atlanta needs to keep it close, possibly, within distance of winning, for him to kind of go off in the captain and be the winner. And obviously Lou Williams was the winning captains, which is different because he was really cheap. So there's a little difference there. But I do think you have to think your team has a chance to win if you're taking not the stars, if that makes sense. Right, Mangone?
Yeah, I mean, and Reggie, I mean, he's technically the number 2. So, like, is he one of the stars? I'm not saying he is, but you get what I'm saying, right? I mean, he's a guy that does see an insane amount of usage right now.
I do think you definitely want, like, obviously you want the game to stay close, but, like, yeah, I guess you do want the Clippers to end up winning the game, right? So, yeah, I don't know if he's a star, Mangone, right? Like, he's
again, like 32% usage.
This is what this playoffs has done to us, though. Reggie Jackson is the number 2. He's a star. Like, I mean,
again, guy seeing a 32% usage rate, throughout the series is, I mean, that's warranted.
Listen, I love Reggie Jackson. I think he's played unbelievable in these playoffs. But, the Clippers aren't here without him. He's been a key in a lot of these games. Even before Kawhi went out, he had a few games where he was like the key third guy that came through big time, especially hitting some of those key threes for them. So I do think that he's their number 2, and he's, in these playoffs, he's played like a semi-star here. So, maybe he falls in that category. I don't know if I'll put him in there, but I will say that when it comes to stars, I don't necessarily think their team needs to win the game for me to win with them in the captain, right?
Yep. Cool.
Yeah, no, that makes sense. But when it comes to role players, they do. And you know what? Listening to you guys talk about that got me thinking about something. When that Rondo for Lou Williams trade was announced, I remember being on this show talking about that's a good trade for both sides, right? Like, Clippers get some leadership, Hawks get some scoring punch. And now that thing looks so lopsided. Like, how badly do you think the Clippers would want to undo that trade right now and get a little scoring punch?
The only thing I will say about the Rondo side, and I'm definitely a Rondo apologist, he's a very smart player. So you also don't know, like, what value he's offering on that side of the court. Maybe for a guy that's grown a ton like Terrence Mann. I mean, Terrence Mann, like, looks up to Rondo. Like, I don't know if you guys know this. I caught this on, like, an ESPN interview or something, but Terrence Mann, like, I think when he was in, like, 7th grade, was given, like, a rookie Rondo rookie card. And what ended up happening was he said he made, like, some AAU team that he thought would be tough to make or something. And he's like, it's good luck, and I've had it in my wallet ever since, and he pulled it out, right? So he's a big Rondo guy, and you just don't know what kind of leadership that could have brought for a young player like that. So, and we know Terrence Mann had a big part of them obviously winning that Jazz series. I mean, that one game from him was really massive.
Yeah, I mean, that's a great point. Obviously, there's things that we don't see all the time, but just from their contributions on the floor, I mean, Rondo's been almost unplayable with his lack of defense. And then at least Lou is not the best defender, but he at least gives you points on the other side like DeMarcus Cousins does. So, all right, guys, I think we did a pretty good job. We hit the side, we hit the total, we hit the props, and we hit the lineup build. It's time for the best bets. Tyler, what do you got for us? Oh, did Tyler freeze on me? We'll see if we can get him back in here. Travis, who do you got for a best bet tonight? Side, total, or prop?
All right. Hopefully I don't cut out because I forgot to plug the Ethernet cord in for this one, and that's why I've been lagging a little. So my apologies. I'm going to give you the Reggie Jackson rebounds 4.5 at +110. That'll be my best bet for tonight. That's where I'm at. All
right, JSU, what do you got?
So I got the Clippers for the win here as my best bet, and then player props, Cam Johnson over on points. And I'm going to go Reggie Jackson over on points too, because I do like it. I think he goes over. I think he has a big game for my guy Reggie, the semi-star Reggie Jackson. And no, West Coast Gem, I'm not giving Ty Lue credit. because he almost fucked this series up. If Zubac didn't get hurt, he's in that starting lineup and they lose that game, in my opinion.
Tyler, best bet, Cam Johnson over 7.5 points. I love that. I placed it right when he said it. It was something that, like you, Travis, I didn't do the deep dive, but he gave out some compelling information there, and I jumped in. And I'm going to go ahead and take the under here. The under's gone 3 of the last 4 games. I just expect it's going to be tight. Tyler has a feeling it's going to be Game 7. I think I'm more with Travis there, where I'm not going to count out a team at home, and that would be wild. I wonder how many the Game 7 road victories there have been in a total playoffs, because that would be the 3rd one, and then it's that's, I wonder how much that drops it overall. I mean, I think it was like 83 and 27 before this year to the home team, so that would be crazy if it happened again. So, gentlemen, thank you for hanging out today. Guys, if you enjoyed the content, please like the video, subscribe to the channel, and Travis, you want to let them know when you'll be giving more content out?
In 2.5 hours, I believe. I think that's it. At 4:00, I'll be there with Hoop. I'll be there with Titletown. This might be the chalkiest show you'll ever find, but it's going to be a good time. We'll talk to him about his Rocket Mortgage Classic, debut at the Pro-Am. So that'll be fun to get that conversation going. Then we got JSU at 6:00 with Big T, Holden, and whoever else ends up showing up. So they'll be talking the MLB, they'll be talking the NBA Showdown. And then at 8:30, we have the PGA show. We got Hoop, we got AP. Uncle T's on the graphic. I think he's on vacation, though. I think it's Snyder. Don't hold me to it. But, be sure to check that out. And on the Run Pure Bets channel, we have a free MLB best bet from Joey Work today in the White Sox Twins game, I believe it is. And then we also have we did a PGA video. It was me. It was Bobby Gomes. Snyder giving out his amazing takes, as always, absolutely crushing it. And we had JJ there as well. Check all the content that we have over there at Run Pure Sports. Use the code RPSHeater25 for 25% off. And if you want to get the bet side for free for a month instead, use the code GETBETS. And like Spread said, give us the thumbs up. We crushed it yesterday, so we're not asking for money. We're just asking for some thumbs up.
Yep. And so just so you guys know, on the content note, on Friday, even if the Suns finish it off tonight and there's no game on Friday, I will still jump on with AP and we'll go over some Wimbledon bets, and we'll give out some bets for the weekend, just to give you guys some good content and be able to get some action here going into the weekend. So JSU, thanks for hanging out, dropping the takes. I was leaning Clippers beforehand, and I woke up a little late today, and hearing you on the same side definitely made me feel better, and look forward to seeing how you work out these captain spots tonight and see if you can cash in another showdown. So thank you everyone for joining us. We will be back tomorrow. Run Pure.